Page.
Okay.
And we are now live. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the OGAL. I know it's been a minute, constantly scheduling. I've been busy. But remember the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason and plot. I have no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot.
Okay, that's
And
cool.
Red may know where that's from.
No,
Isn't that from that
V for
trash
Vendetta.
movie, the V for Vendetta? No, I'm joking.
Hey, that
It
movie was
was
not trash.
well.
are
Here's
you
the thing.
talking about the Great Wall?
It's not the best. It's not the best. It's not the best game I've ever. I mean, it's not the best movie I've ever seen, but I mean, considering how bad the Wachowski siblings have been film wise since then, it's like a masterpiece compared to Jupiter Ascending.
Okay, we're gonna move on from that.
It's like a masterpiece compared to Jupiter Ascending. So yeah, it's a great film.
Well, check this out, guys. Of course, I did have some topics. Some are actually weeks old, and I know a lot of more stuff has happened since then. So we'll go ahead and get right into the really, really heavy stuff. So EA finally came out and admitted that they're gonna take a wait and see approach for the Switch, and maybe next year they'll bring out something else. I'm not sure exactly what the words were. I didn't look up the article, nor did I care to. I just heard about it and seen it was shared, but I'm not sure how you guys feel about that. So why don't you go ahead and give your thoughts?
We already gave our thoughts. I see it as another repeat of them pulling off from the Wii U, except this time the gamers are actually against
Well, the
EA's.
gamers are calling out for the bullshit.
That's true. That is true. But we already, except for Raphael, me, Doc, and Red Fox, we did it when the podcast last year. We talked about what third party is gonna last long. We did that.
I mean, but let's just keep it real for a second, folks. Everyone's like, I can't believe they did this. Capcom's doing the same thing. I mean, here's the thing. All of this is just, well, we need to do another test. Because with Capcom, it was Street Fighter, Ultimate Street Fighter 2, and now with EA, it's like, well, these other games didn't do anything, so. I mean, and everyone was like, no, this can't be true. Look, listen, okay. If anyone who thought that FIFA 18 was going to be like this bellwether game for the system, you're insane. Because FIFA only does well. FIFA,
Not to
like,
mention that they're the same game over every single year.
well, no, I don't mean that. Like, okay, its merits aside, FIFA is not like FIFA only does well in one market. That's Europe, right? But here's the thing. Everyone who wants to play FIFA in Europe has a PS4 to play FIFA or a PC. They are not going to get it. No one is getting a Switch so they can play FIFA on the go, especially when it's missing modes. It doesn't have the same features that the other versions have. So there's no incentive for someone to get it unless they're really, 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 really into soccer, or all they have is a Switch. Which, I mean, conceivably there could be someone who the only thing they have is a Switch. I'm not going to say, that couldn't be a situation, but probably not, because this is EA we're talking about. And if you're a Nintendo fan, you should just be used to EA screwing you over. So it's par for the
Very true.
course.
And of
They
course,
screwed me over. Oh, never mind.
and we all know this has been going on for not just the 8th gen, but it went on during the 7th gen, more or less. And even back in the 6th gen, it still kind of went on. So this really is nothing new. But a lot of people are going to take this out of context and be like, hey, once again, Nintendo and third parties. It's like, honestly, if you think about Nintendo's entire console history, at least over the last 3 to 4 generations, EA has not really been the most supportive third party out of the bunch.
No, the only gen where they actually kind of put some effort on the system was the 6th gen. The 7th gen was a lot of shovelware. It was a lot of shovelware, and the The fifth gen was, like reluctantly they'd put a game on the N64, and the fourth gen, I mean,
They did some stuff for Super Nintendo.
yeah, I mean, for the fourth gen, it really didn't matter. It was like, because I mean, let's keep it real. Joe Blow average Nintendo gamer wasn't getting a lot of sports games because Nintendo gamers just didn't really care that much for sports games. Really, that wasn't the sports game console. If you really want to play sports games, you got it on the Sega. Even back then, you played whatever sports game was hot at the time. Your NBA. I mean, we had arcadey stuff.
Yeah, but they didn't have
EA
didn't have the super monopoly as they have now.
No.
Because you had your Joe Montana football on Sega.
Yeah, and I know that back then, because I had this game, Madden was a license, and it did exist, but the license was with a lot of people. So you had a Madden game that was actually on the made by Konami. Like they actually had, because I had that game. I was like, I got it cheap too. It wasn't a very good game.
I think the last Madden that I actually played, and I'm not kidding, was Madden 64 on the N64, and I love that game.
I can't get into Madden games these days. I'm just like,
but dude,
no.
that was like 2001, I think. So please, I mean, that's nothing special.
I'm always confused with Madden games myself.
No, just to me, at the Madden 64, they want to go to a more realistic route. And like I remember when they first announced that, oh yeah, the next Madden game, you actually have to like make sure the ball lands in the player's hands and not just hit the player on the field. It's like, okay, if I want football to be that realistic, I go outside and play the damn sport.
Yeah, that's the way I feel about sports games. Like if I want to play a really realistic sports game, I'll just go outside and play football. Like, I mean, that's why I liked Blitz the League. That's why I liked.
You mean?
No, Blitz the League. No, Blitz the League. I love Blitz the League. That's like one of my favorite games.
You mean any given Sunday the game?
I wouldn't go that far, but I mean, any football game that lets me stick a steroid knife in a footballer's butt, and you see the look on his face, so that he can be more effective on the field, and give him drugs to make him play better. Like, why can't we? I mean, I know. Okay, look, that sounds horrible on paper, but let's just keep it real, folks. Okay. Football is a dirty, dirty sport. Okay, it's dirty. People get injured. It's not, it's not clean. And we need to acknowledge that. So stop trying to be. Oh, we need to keep this ultra realistic, but not have the dark parts of it. That's why I like arcade style games. Like I recently got Mutant League Football, which is on PC, and it's fun. It reminds me of that game that EA holds the rights to right now and won't do a damn thing with, because it's EA. We ain't gonna do shit with the IP, and neither can you. That's EA's. They're like Microsoft almost.
Capcom.
Yeah, but Capcom, we don't have the money to do shit with the IP. Microsoft's like, oh, yeah, we could totally do something with the IP, but we're not. We're just going to hold it hostage.
Well, does anyone else have anything they want to say about the whole EA statement? Well, I'll run it once.
Nothing. Nothing much. Pretty much everyone else has already said their thoughts on EA.
EA has killed our favorite franchises, and another one bites the dust, like that song by Queen. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust.
And Killer Queen, one of Killer Queen's moves, bites the dust too.
Yeah, I mean, it's, they kill things that are awesome and should be awesome. EA finds a way to kill. If they were vampire hunters, they'd be awesome.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and end this topic by saying, for the umpteenth time, the hell with you, EA. Like, I didn't care in the beginning, and I definitely don't care now. This doesn't affect me, because I've already mentioned that the franchises I care about, they don't do anymore, such as SSX and NBA, and of course, what was the game? NBA Street, FIFA Street, NFL Street. the games for EA Big, those are the ones I cared about.
The more arcadey games. See, the thing that pisses me off about EA is that not only do they kill franchises, but
They
it's
kill
like,
themselves.
well, no, not only do they kill franchises, is that they take, like, you can totally see where they're killing a franchise, and no one says anything until it's too late. Like BioWare is dying as a studio is dying, okay? And no one's saying anything. Like, yeah, whatever, it is what it is. Business as usual.
Well, another bit of business I want to talk about, and I just did a video on it. I'm pretty sure some of you will agree, at the very least, but here it goes. I'm just gonna call it the Switch tax, and it has to do with these companies doing two things right now. And to me, there's more than enough evidence at this point to support that it's more than just a theory. But you not only are trying to charge $10 more for the Switch version, which I could somewhat understand under certain circumstances.
Yeah.
However, you're also still making us buy a physical game and forcing us to download a huge portion of it. And I know some people are thinking like, well, hey, this is where gaming's going. You know what? You may be right, but just because a lot of people are okay with it doesn't mean I have to be. And since I came from the eighth generation with the Wii U, that no game required to install, and even the 10 physical games I have for my Switch right now, all of which did not require a mandatory install, guess what? I have more than enough evidence that shows it can be done. They're just simply choosing not to do it. And even though my biggest concern, what brought this up when I made my video, was LA Noir, it's multiple games: NBA 2K18, WWE 2K18, all these things. To me, they're being lazy. Now, I know people saying, well, the Switch carts, the bigger carts are more expensive. Okay, let's examine that. Let's just say they were more expensive. You wanted a 32 gigabyte card. Let's just say they were more expensive. What about a company like Rockstar that has made billions of dollars on Grand Theft Auto? They didn't make a billion. They made a billion in the first 3 days with just the PS3 and Xbox 360 versions. That game is going to sell over 70 million copies across 5 or 6 platforms. So
Um,
don't tell me it's a money problem. If any company can afford it, Rockstar can.
here, here's what I'm gonna
So,
say.
so
Um,
I mean, in the end, I just feel like, hey, look, I'm not even saying that they're the same price. I know it may be as small, and that they may be more expensive. I get that. I accept that. But forcing people to do a mandatory install of a portion of a game when this system, unlike the other two, has proven that it can run the games off the cart completely without any installs whatsoever, you're being cheap and/or lazy. And I'm not going to support either one of them. And my thing is, I'm of the opinion of SK Massive, and shout out to him. If I do want to buy any of these third party games, I'm going to wait till they're about half price, or I'm going to pull what they did in the 64 generation with the N64. In the beginning, they had small cartridges. Then, as the cycle went on, there were bigger and bigger carts. Well, I'm pretty sure in a year or two, 32 gig carts may be a standard. So maybe then, when they're still printing copies of LA Noir, all the game will be on a single cartridge. But until
well,
then, I'm gonna stand my ground.
I'm going to. Here's what I'm gonna say. Okay. Um, like, I'm coming at it from the viewpoint of someone who was during that N64 generation. The fifth gen. The fifth gen saw the advent of memory cards, where if you wanted to fully enjoy a game, you had to have a memory card. Either from or if you had the N64, you had also, for some games, you had to have the expansion card, the memory expansion card. So it's like, I mean, yes, would it be great if these third parties did that? Yeah, it would be great. But I mean, these are third parties. You can't expect. I mean, that's like expecting a crackhead. Yeah, this crackhead's not going to steal my shit because even though they're a crackhead, yeah. So it's like you have to expect shit from shitty people. And so, I mean, that's kind of like, you just got to kind of deal with it, sort of. So, I mean, if you don't want this, then the only thing I can say is
But
you
my
might have to,
but my stance
uh,
on it is, if we feed into it now, we're basically telling them that they can treat the Switch just like they treat the PS4 and Xbox One. I'm not saying I alone can stop this. I'm not I'm not stupid, okay? But my opinion, my perception is this. If we buy this, if we give into this, we are letting them know they can treat a console designed to play games directly off the cart with no issues. We're telling them they can treat the Switch just like they treat the PS4 and Xbox One. They can give
yeah,
us
but
all this bulky coding that's not optimized, and they can say, "Oh, you know what? Well, we didn't completely bug test the game, so day one with the physical card, there's gonna be a 14 gigabyte patch, and the rest of the game is on there, and you need that patch to play the rest of the game, and it has various bug fixes." Well, wait, hold on, the game's not out yet.
yeah, but I mean, the reason I say that, like, at the end of the day, this is going to happen regardless of any of that. Like, games are going to get bigger. Yes, yes. The Nintendo first party games, probably not. Although I wouldn't be surprised if, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 will have an issue where it's just going to be huge because that game looks like it's going to be huge. And you might have to download extra stuff. I'm not saying it, and
It
if
might
they,
be the same thing as it was on the first one. Download just so you could do the
yeah,
loading
But you know what though?
stuff.
I would say
and if
this.
they, and
It
if
would
they
not
do,
surprise me if Xenoblade Chronicles 2 drops and they have that full game on a cartridge. Let's say the game is slightly about the same size as Xenoblade Chronicles X on the Wii U, which is about 26 gigabytes. With the if you download the extra,
Gigabyte.
add-ons and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
if they put this game on a full cartridge, I know for a fact at that point it's like, okay, so I got pretty much the biggest gaming world ever conceived on a single cartridge. Y'all can do better too.
Well, we
well, I
know they
mean,
do it.
I
At least we
understand that.
know that Xenoblade 2 is gonna have a much bigger world than Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, like the thing is that the thing is that I mean, we are dealing with space limitations. It's the nature of the beast. And I mean, yes, it would be great if we could go back to the days where, I mean, it's kind of like how I felt when I found out with the N64 that there were some games where I'd have to buy a memory card. It was like, yeah, I wish I could go back to the days where my save data was on the cartridge. But I mean, we're not going back to those days. And so, if you want to enjoy certain third-party games, you're just going to have to get a bigger
Get a memory card. Like, for
you're just
example,
gonna have to
the
get a
Lego
memory card.
the N64 port of Lego Racers. I had to unlock everything in one day just so I could play all the unlocked parts, and because I know that by the time I turn off the game and restart it, all of the all of the all of the pieces I have unlocked, I had to start everything all over again because I don't have a memory card with me.
I mean, but
Yeah,
that's
so that's
slightly
the
different.
price. That's the
At that
price of
point,
the of the
but
of
see, you
the.
guys are that's slightly different because you are getting a save file, the ability to save, versus we're talking about having a portion of the game deliberately left off the cartridge because they either want to go the cheap route or they want to go the lazy route and just
Well,
drop the rest of their code on the system,
I mean, I think it's a combination of both. But the fact of the
which is
matter
still
is
bad.
that but the fact of the matter is that if you want to play that game, that's the price of admission. It's like, I mean, like I said, back during the N64 days, or even the
Or
Dream, or even
or I can
we go 6th gen Dreamcast. I mean, if you wanted to save your file, you had to fucking buy it at VMU. That's not cool,
no,
but
actually
that's the
no,
way
no,
they
no,
do
no,
it.
no. Actually, Dreamcast had built-in memory. It wasn't a
For
lot, but
some
they had built-in
games,
memory.
for some
But
games, not
but
all
even
of them.
still, it was there. But if you really want to see the cost of admission, I can literally go buy LA Noir right now for the Xbox 360, which is 3 discs on the 360 and
Yeah,
one Blu-ray on the PS3. I can go buy
yeah.
the game brand new for $10.
Yeah, I mean,
But
look,
see, but,
listen.
hold on, but my point is, did they on a 360 say, "Hey, we got to offload some of this into your hard drive," even though you bought the physical game? No, they
No.
didn't. They spread that across 3 discs. And if you want to go, let's say, let's just, I'm just gonna throw a price out there. Let's say the 8 gig card is $5, and let's say the 32 gig card is $25.
Nope.
Okay,
That's not the
I'm
price.
not. I'm just throwing a price out there. Let's just say let's say it was a price. Okay, then if your game is so big, why don't you go ahead and buy yourself multiple 8 gig cards? Because then that would save you space. It would save you a little money as opposed to 32 gig cards. Is just so expensive. That's what you did back in the sixth gen, and seventh gen and the six. You use multiple discs, especially when the Xbox 360 came in. That was a hard drive based system, and guess what? They didn't ask you to offload any of that game onto the hard drive. It was
Yeah,
three
but
DVDs.
but look at the difference. Microsoft paid out the ass for specialized treatment, right? And Sony is the market leader right now. So I mean, Nintendo, even despite them having a very hot console right now, is neither. So they aren't playing that game, and I commend them for not playing that game because I love it when a company basically says we're not going to be extorted. That's a commendable thing to do.
But
Um,
but also I look at things the way Juice mentioned, and a shout out to him. He said what you're doing is essentially forcing a lot of people that this game not only is it more expensive, $10 more expensive than the other versions that are coming out, but you're essentially forcing people to have to buy SD card to even play the game.
um,
Because okay, that download is 14 gigabytes plus whatever else you may have to download with it. They're just telling you what is required to play the game. So let's say you're like me and all you have left on your Switch is about 10 to 12 gigabytes. That
um,
means I am forced to actually buy an SD card to if I want to enjoy the game or erase almost all the stuff that's on my Switch already. And see,
um,
now, I know not everyone, but let's say you bought a brand new Switch and you want to play this game. That's going to take up the bulk of your memory. But let's say you, like me, you had to switch for a few months. You got a few indie titles on there, whatever, a few downloaded games. You don't have 14 gigabytes left over. So you have essentially paid $10 more plus the cost of whatever size card you're going to buy.
I it's really hard for me to empathize because I mean we live in an age where a lot of things are digital, and if you're going to be buying a lot of stuff that's digital, that you might have to,
But
download stuff.
but that's the thing. This is not digital. This is
No,
not the
no,
digital
my
version. This is
no,
the physical version.
no, no, I understand that, but the thing is like this is just the way it is. Like there's going to be parts. There's going to be parts where stuff like this is going to happen. Is it right? Not necessarily. I can understand why people be upset, but I mean that's the nature of the beast we live in. You know.
So you're saying we basically have no choice but to accept it because what it happens now or later is going to happen. So even if we don't like it now and it's not right, we should just be ready to go ahead and give in anyway.
No, I'm saying that if you like, here's the thing, okay? It is, because I know a lot of people are like this. I'm gonna buy everything digital. Not everything is digital. Just nowadays, it's impractical for you to say I'm not gonna buy something unless it's physical, because the fact of the matter is that a lot of stuff just is not, it's not gonna be physical, or it's gonna be so long for it to become physical. It's almost not worth waiting for it. So, I mean, you're basically going to cut off your nose to spite your face because you're not getting your druthers. But the thing is like, the world doesn't revolve around the few people who are like, yeah, it has to be physical. And since we live in an age where a lot of things are
Digital.
digital in nature, like it's like a lot of indie games are never going to be physical. So, and people want to buy a lot of indie games. So, you might have to say to yourself, okay, I'm gonna have to get a larger memory card. I haven't gotten one yet because I'm waiting for the Black Friday sale. But I already said to myself, yeah, I'm gonna have to get a a larger memory card because I know eventually I'm gonna like downloading stuff for my off of the hard drive, and that's the nature of the beast that we're in right now.
But it
And
doesn't. But see, the thing is, though, it doesn't have to be. Just like, okay, for example, I agree with you that things are digital. But here's the thing: in the 8th generation, the PS4 and Xbox One did not have to play games from the hard drive. They're the ones that chose those slow ass disc readers. They chose that. The Wii U was able to read these games, these large games, straight off the disc with no installs required.
Yeah.
So if they can do it, and it was the technology that wasn't even as widespread, but it was actually based on it in a sense. Same capacity disc, it can read it right off the disc. Even a
Yeah,
game as large as Xenoblade Chronicles X could be ran
you know,
directly off the disc.
I understand that, but the thing is like the Wii U was not the market leader. It's kind of like, think of it like this, okay? The PS3 had the cell processor. Cell processor was a really awesome processor, but it wasn't the market leader. So it doesn't matter how capable it was or how much it was good for gaming, which is debatable depending on who you ask. But at the end of the day, it's about what the industry has adopted, and unfortunately, even though this sucks, I'll be the first person to say it sucks that the industry has adopted this, well, we'll half-ass a game and there's no quality control and, bad coding. But, I mean, that's just the nature. I mean, I wish it wasn't like that, but that's just the way it is. I mean,
As I said, for me personally, I'm not saying everyone else, do this or else. Look, I'm just simply saying I'm doing one or two things. I'm either gonna wait until later on when the typical card size on the Switch is probably about 32 gigs or more, and LA Noir, if I pick up a copy a year or two down the line and it says, "Oh, no install required on the back of the box because it's all in the cartridge," then I pick it up, and at that point it will probably be $10 to $20. Or I'm gonna wait till it's probably about half price.
well,
I mean, 15, $20. But other than that,
let
this
me put
going
this.
from a day one purchase to a hell no.
No, look, man. I understand. I get it. I personally would never buy it. The only reason I could see LA Noir being a practical purchase for some people is if you're one of those people who wanted to get the game, but it had all of that. This version is for this platform. This version is for that platform, because that kind of ruins gameplay experiences, in my opinion. But I mean. And because this version has all of that extra DLC that they had, like, this is only for the Xbox One, that if you pre-order this from GameStop, like, this version, LA Noir has all of those bennies. But I mean, at the end of the day, LA Noir is not what I would call, like, it's not the biggest game in the world that should be coming to the system. So whatever. And
Anybody else?
Well, if I were to get LA Noir, I'm still going to get the physical copy because I know it compresses much more space than the digital version.
No. Even with the physical version, you have to download you have to download another like huge portion of the game.
Yeah, but is it as big as the digital version?
No, but you still have to put a huge amount of
yeah. And should there exist a GTA 5 port for the Switch, or maybe a Switch version of GTA 6? I expect the same to happen.
I'm not gonna go that far. I don't know. Like, there are so many games that could have been ported to the system aside from GTA, in my opinion. But it is what it is.
Okay. Like I said, just for me, I think in my opinion, I see what they're trying to push, and I could be totally wrong, but to me, we got three or four different games from different major publishers that are all saying, "Oh, we know the system can play the whole game off the cartridge, but we're not going to pay for the larger carts, or we're not going to try to optimize this game for the system. So you're either cheap and/or lazy, and at that point, I can't support your product if that's the case. Now, if you were an indie, I would be like, okay, I understand. You don't have hundreds of
Those
millions,
types of
if not billions
resources.
of dollars in
Yeah.
the bank. Yeah, you don't have those resources. Like, for example, but even then, I kind of cannot give them credit because the ones that did the Retro City Rampage, they actually did a limited release of the game physically, a special edition.
Yeah, but Retro City Rampage is not.
I
Retro
know,
City
look, look,
is
look,
not nearly
I
as
know,
large
I
as
know. Hey, I know it's not a big game. I know it's
yeah,
not a big game, but I'm simply saying. But even that company did a limited physical release,
yeah,
and
but
my thing is they didn't even have to do that, but that's something they wanted to do for the fans. Now, Rockstar, as I said, you have made billions off of Grand Theft Auto. This is before you even bought it to the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Then on top of that, you have all these microtransactions for the online multiplayer. You've
yeah,
made billions.
yeah, but
Billions would they be?
they're not going to steal from themselves in order to make that game be better. And I mean, the thing is, okay, the thing is this, okay, these companies are making their money because essentially they won't steal from themselves in order to make stuff better. And I mean, that's standard business practices. I wish that wasn't the case, but that's the world we live in. And,
It's just I don't know, man. Yeah. Like I said, if if people out there going to buy it, go buy it. This is just my reason for not
yeah,
doing it.
I
And
mean,
I definitely understand. I wanted to support these games and these companies. I want to show my support to yes. Even though I'm a Nintendo fan and I love their games, I love the Switch. I do enjoy other options on the console. But if this is how you're going to go about it, I'm sorry, but I can't support some developer or publisher putting in half the effort. I can't do it because that mean if I the way I see it is if I support you on a half-ass effort, then what assurance do I have you're gonna put in full effort next time?
yeah, I mean, I can see where you're coming from. I mean, but like I said, a lot of people are just not, they're going to get this game regardless. I heard it's a good port. I haven't played it because, I have better things to do with my time than play, crime drama simulator from the LAPD, those racist bastards. But yeah, I mean, you know, it, it is what it is. I mean, like I said, I personally wouldn't get the game, but I mean, I can see why it would be an attractive purchase. It just depends on, are you willing? How much are you willing to let slide? Some people are willing to let slide a lot. Some people are willing to let slide a little bit. It just depends on what you like and what you're willing to put up with. So the choice is yours.
What about you, Raphael?
Well, to be quite honest, I'm not interested in getting LA North
All right.
because I'm more interested in getting GTA because I like to mess around on a sandbox game.
And so do I. Like I said, look, I'm glad the game's coming. Let me get that out there. I'm glad the game's coming. Just like I was glad that WWE 2K18 was coming and FIFA 18 and the rest of them. I'm glad they're coming, people. Don't get it twisted. I am. However, my whole thing is I want them to put more effort forth than the quarter that they're given. I mean,
I understand that.
and my thing is, look, you want my support, do more than you did with the Wii U because even back then you were giving half-ass efforts. You really
Well,
were.
I mean, Rockstar didn't put shit on the Wii.
I know, but like I said, but this is not just about LA Noir. This is about even like I said, NBA 2K18, WWE, FIFA. These games, we all want these games, but as I said, to me, they are treating the Switch like it's built just like a PS4 and Xbox One. I even said in my video, those systems are built with off-the-shelf cheap PC parts. The Switch has a unique architecture, like consoles always have had since the beginning. They weren't built like PCs were. They were a more unique, confined architecture, and
Yeah.
you shouldn't be trying to run your games on the Switch the same way you run those suckers on the PS4 and Xbox One. Like, oh, well, here's a generic PC build. We'll just dump the code and fix it later. No, No. And then, of course, I
At
understand.
this rate, at this rate, the Switch is going to get a bad reputation from the PC master race.
Well, I
And then
mean,
I even thought about saying, okay, let's look at it this way. I know Mario Rabbids is a third party exclusive, which makes it a second party game. However, that game size is only 2.2 gigabytes. Now we know there's some optimization going on. The game's not perfect, but even still, could you imagine that game was actually built by, let's say, the likes of EA? It'd probably
um,
be 15 gigabytes.
well, I mean, but there's not a. I mean, that game is not nearly as much content as like in terms of like textures and stuff like that going on. Although what's there is is pretty, but I mean, yeah, I mean, here's all I can say overall about it. Okay, third parties are going to do the bare minimum. They've been doing that for years. They'll continue to do the bare minimum because they've had years of gamers accepting bullshit. I mean, let's just keep it real. Gamers will accept anything as long as they get their fix. They're like drug addicts, you know. And sadly, that's just the way it is. You know, I wish that wasn't the case, but that's the gaming world we live in these days. You know, gamers will accept anything as long as they get their fix. Oh man, I got my fix. I can play Call of Duty with my friends. I can play Halo with my friends. I can play some other shitty game with my friends. You know, as long as they're with their friends, they're happy. So
I don't know, man. It's just I expected better. Like I said, this game was going to be a day one purchase for me. When I saw that, I said, "Oh hell no!" Like I actually have
why?
a memory card, but I said, "No, you are not going to force me to download that just to play your game." And I looked it up, brand new, LA Noir,
What?
9.99, brand new for the Xbox 360.
Why do you expect better, especially from third parties? Like third parties, like if you're a Nintendo gamer, we should expect like third parties. We should expect them to be shit. When third parties do something decent, that's the surprise. It's like, oh wow, they actually didn't fuck me over this time. I'm amazed.
Yeah, like for example, No More Heroes
Yeah, like if I
and Red Steel 2.
like if they did a No More Heroes trilogy, right?
Right.
Uh huh.
Like if they did a No More Heroes trilogy, and it was like No More Heroes, No More Heroes 2, and then No More Heroes 3, that would be awesome. Would it happen? Probably not, because you know we don't get that type of stuff these days. But whatever. I would die for another No More Heroes. Well, I would die, but it'd be
But we are
awesome.
getting one, but it's a lot different. But
Well,
we
I
are
mean
getting
that's
one,
more
but
of a
it's going to
it's
be.
more of a spin-off game. It has Travis Touchdown in it, but you know it's like a crossover with Hotline Miami or some junk.
And let me just make this little, little thing. This is completely unrelated, but Gilligan, dude, I really am trying to get you in here. I've sent the link like 4 different times in 3 different ways. Google's being a bitch. I'm sorry. Like I really am. I just hit it on Google Plus as like a regular post. I just sent it. I did an invite from the Hangout, and I also posted it on the event page. I sent you a text with the link. It's just I don't know what's going on, man.
Sometimes Google's a bitch, man.
I couldn't even now I couldn't even find the game idea guy to send him an invite. Like honestly, it wouldn't even pull him up in the system.
Yeah, sometimes
I,
Google's a bitch, man.
yeah, I mean,
Um,
even I was having trouble trying to enter Ed Duo's live podcast because the link wasn't on.
yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I sent it, man, like every which way from Sunday. I really did. But what else did I want to talk about today?
If any two Wii U games could be ported to the Switch, what would you want them to be?
Yeah. And Smash cannot be a choice. I'm gonna put that out there right
Thank
now.
God.
It can't be a choice. I meant to say that, but yeah, Smash cannot be a choice. So if you could port any two Wii U games of your choice,
All right.
which ones would they be?
I got a couple.
Okay.
I would port Star Fox Zero because that game deserved better. I would port Wonderful 101 because that's a really good game that deserves. Like I would port games that deserve a second bite at the apple, if you will. Like
Okay.
I wouldn't do games that are like really, really like everyone knows about this because that's too easy. You know?
What about you, Raphael?
Let's see. I was thinking Hyrule Warriors with all of the DLC implemented.
Really? That I find it as an interesting choice, and I say that only because they did port it to the 3DS, and 3DS has a few advantages. And since we just got Fire Emblem Warriors, I was thinking like, man, that's why I find it unique or strange.
Yeah, because but then they gave us another season pass after Hyrule Warriors Legends.
Oh, that is right. I remember now. And which other game?
Finally.
Welcome, Gilligan.
Mm.
Holy
The
cow.
system stop acting like a bitch. Yay, Google, stop acting like a bitch.
Yeah.
And which other game, Raphael?
And let's see, my second game of choice, it would be Super Mario Maker.
Oh God.
How they? Okay, I have to ask. How would they pull that off though when it's docked?
Yeah, that's the one problem I have with my choice. I mean, how are they going to implement the touchscreen
I mean, I,
controls to
I
make?
think it's cool. They have to pack in a stylus with it designed for a capacitive touchscreen. But, I mean, I think it will be a great choice. But, people are going to say, I want to see it on my TV.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain games that really would do better. Like, that's the thing about the Switch. The Switch is a great console, but like if you port Wii U games, especially Wii U games that really use the second screen really well, it's like this feel like the Switch version would feel like the inferior version. Like a friend of mine was playing Lego City, and really Lego City on anything but the Wii U just feels inferior. Like it just does
Same
not play as
same
well.
with Rayman Legends.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
It's funny you bring that up because, and this guy, he's a cool guy, whatever. I think he goes by Ian H. Shout out to him. He made a posting about Lego City on the cover. I think it was like $20 on sale at GameStop,
Hmm.
which is a compelling deal. I can't even lie. But then I said, I already have the definitive version and I beat it on the Wii U. And of course, his first response was, "You need to let go of the Wii U. It's a dead console. The gamepad, wasn't that innovative. At least in that game, people had to break their backs trying to turn when in detective mode." I said, "But you would have to play it and play it all the way through to really see the benefits of it because it really was a very engrossing experience. It drew you in
Yeah.
because of those few features. Now, I will admit, they were somewhat simple features, but even still, it made the experience feel more immersive. It
Yeah,
really did.
and
Those few
I'm
things. And my wife, even today, in regards to Rayman Legends, I downloaded the demo for the Switch. It is essentially the same game, but my wife said, there is nothing like when you take your stylus and you have to tickle that muscle bound monster
yeah,
with
and I'm gonna
Murphy.
keep it,
And
and
then
I'm gonna
Rayman
keep
and then Rayman automatically walks up and hits him. You ain't gotta do it on the screen and then make Rayman go up. It's like no, because the AI on the Wii U version did the other stuff automatically for you.
and I'm gonna keep it absolutely real with you. Like literally, like there are games that like Lego City. I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. Lego City, in my opinion, has some of the best writing I've seen in a Lego game for a long time.
Yeah.
Like some of the things that people say, some of the jokes and phrases that people say in detective
You don't want to
mode,
cause any
it's like
collateral damage.
no, no. I mean, some of those jokes are. I'm like, okay, this is clearly a game that they're marketed towards kids. Some of these jokes are not kid friendly. Like a Lego man's like, honey, why do our kids look nothing like me? And then his wife has this
Oh.
nervous laugh, and I'm
Hey,
like, "Ew."
hey, I'm gonna tell you
Let's not
right
forget
now.
the
All
movie
they,
reference.
all,
Let's not forget the references to R-rated movies.
Well, yeah, I mean,
but
but
But the best part about it was the fact that this game was essentially Grand Theft Auto toned down. It wasn't violent. It was built around humor, but it had a fourth wall Deadpool kind of feel to it.
yeah, I
It
mean,
really did, and it made it a much better game than Grand Theft Auto because it was strictly single player focused. I mean, the humor was through and through in that
yes, it
game.
was. Yes, it was. And I mean, yeah, and the game wasn't ultra violent. Like your takedowns didn't kill people. It was like your character's gun was a gun that shot like manacles and like tied up
Pellets.
criminals and stuff. But at the end of the game, that game was really, really. I mean, some of the jokes were really like were pop culture references that only someone over 25 or 30 would really get. I mean, it was just a very good game, and I mean, like I wish. I mean, I know they ported that game over to the Switch, but it's so inferior to the Wii U. Just the way that you use the gamepad. Like everyone's like, oh man, the Wii U. Look, the gamepad really was a really good device to use for gaming. And it's sad that Nintendo had to give it away because third parties fucked them over in the first year of the Wii U's life cycle. And before anyone says, well, the Wii U, no. The reason the Wii U failed, because look, the Switch, let's keep it real. The Switch isn't any better than the Wii U in terms of as being a console, okay? The difference is that Nintendo said, fuck third parties, we're going to support this ourselves, okay? Because literally, if you took away all the third-party support that Switch has right now, it still would be selling well because Nintendo has like 3 must-have games on the system. Splatoon 2, Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild. Literally,
You know what?
if they just had those 3 games, they could be like, well, we're fine, we're good.
If you had those 3 games, you literally already have about $200-300 worth of content.
Yeah.
Oh, actually,
And I'll-
speaking of that, you know, I know this may be a bit off topic, but I really wanted to bring this out. Like, so I have always said that the PS4 is the most overrated system of all time. And I specifically said one of the reasons why I think the system is so overrated because, like, the only games on the PS4 that's even worth, like, owning are so few far in between. They were like 6-7 games are worth mentioning, like Horizon Zero Dawn, Crash Insane Trilogy, Uncharted 4, Bloodborne, and I think Gravity
Back
Rush
2,
2.
baby.
Oh no, not that.
That piece
And
of
and
shit,
Yeah, I would
and Gravity Rush 2.
a Vita
that's-
game, yeah. A Vita game.
Oh, a sequel to a video game, but you know, still,
No,
like
it
again,
was a Vita game. They ported a Vita game to the PS4, and people were like, "Man, this shit's awesome." I'm like, I mean, that's like us Nintendo gamers. You know, they ported they ported a DS game to the Switch, and we're like, "Man, this shit's the best shit ever." I'm like, "Come on, man." No.
probably because
Well, here's
that's
the
the
thing, like,
console version has better graphics or something.
how I put this, like, basically, there's so few PS4 games that's really worth praising or owning, and the Switch is not even a year old yet, and it's already pretty much topped that.
Yeah, don't say that out
quality
loud.
games.
Don't say that out loud. People get mad when you say that. Don't be talking about that, man. No.
Nah, gotta break the silence. Gonna give
Don't
them
say
truth.
And you're going
Don't
to
say
attract
that.
the trolls.
The PlayStation is king. The PlayStation is the winner, even though it
Sony
has very
always
few
wins,
games.
baby.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to speak something about the Wii U. Don't forget the people or slash YouTuber or slash wannabe journalist that was basically spreading around misinformation about that console.
Well, isn't that all of them? The Wii U sucked. Really? Yeah.
The gaming journalism has treated the Wii U so badly. It's not only just like, you know, the poor marketing of the Wii U. It's also the fact that, you know, gaming journalism is like just
bullshit.
bringing gaming
I mean,
journalism is
Well,
screwing
people are
them
always
over.
like, man, they had terrible marketing. No, look, listen. The marketing wasn't the problem because at the end of the day, let's keep it real. PlayStation's marketing is shit. The reason people buy it is because it's popular. It's not because of the marketing, right? Like, if Xbox is marketing for their system, yeah, here's a lot of games that you can also get on other shit too. Be happy. Bar system, please.
Greatness awaits.
I mean,
Hold on. Before we go any further into that, let me go ahead and finish up this topic we were on. So Raphael gave us two Wii U games he ported. What about you, Gilligan? What two Wii U games, and Smash can be one of them?
Okay.
What two Wii U games would you love to see ported to the Switch?
Two Wii U games that I love to be ported to the Switch.
Just two. No honorable mentions. Just two games.
Okay.
I
Well,
know, I know, I
first
know it's
one.
asking a lot because it had a lot, but go ahead.
First one is obvious, and the second one I know I wanted to bring it up, but it's gonna be the same thing. So I think anything, let me take a look up my Wii U list. It's pretty hard because
I know what you want, man. You want them to port Batman Arkham Origins.
nah.
hey, you got jokes, huh?
He said, nah.
Okay. If anything, I think I got one. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. It would have to be Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
And Bayonetta 2.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say
Thanks for
Bayonetta
off
2
everybody.
too. Yeah. Bayonetta 2, but not just Bayonetta 2. I want them to port Bayonetta 1 and 2 to the system, not just like.
Throw the
Oh
bundle.
yeah. The more the merrier.
Yeah.
Obviously. But yeah, but with Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, right? Let me give you a little reason why I want Tropical Freeze to be ported to the Switch. It is, in my opinion, the most underrated Donkey Kong Country game ever. The game is so phenomenal.
It's basically probably one of the best platformers of the 8th generation. It really
And
is.
people overlook it because it's not Metroid Prime 4.
Shut up. Just go there. We're not gonna go there.
No,
Okay,
no.
Triple M, give your two games before these bastards go off on a long tangent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we really know how bullshit the gaming community are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Pinky Dawn and Red Fox are already named two of them for me, which was Hyrule Warriors, with all the stuff that, they would put on the 3DS, like they did with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and Star Fox Zero.
Okay.
That game is really underrated. That's been lambasted. I'm like, this is like
Star Fox
my
Zero is
second
very
my
underrated.
second Star Fox game. Well, a traditional Star Fox game, and I'm basically a newbie, and I'm playing a ton out of this. I'm surprised. I'm actually getting. I'm so far that I'm getting more medals that more gold medals that I didn't expect to get. So yeah, you journalists out there that couldn't even beat the first level of the game, how about that? Those apples, right?
Oh, actually, speaking of Star Fox Zero, oh my god. So I'm gonna maybe go on a bit of a tangent about Star Fox Zero, but don't worry, it won't be too long. So I was at this was when before Odyssey was coming out, like I think it was a week. There was a Best Buy event for Odyssey. Like if you play the demo, you could basically get all the freebies and all that stuff. So I was like waiting in line, and then these two people were behind me, and they were like I think they were complaining about the Nintendo copyright stuff. So it was, again, I do want to bring that topic up after this. So we had a debate, right? And then he also brings up the fact that how Star Fox Zero sucked. And I said Star Fox Zero was not a bad game. And then he comes on and said, you could basically like bad games, And I was like, but Star Fox Zero is not a bad game in my opinion. It's not a bad game.
No, I would say Star Fox Zero is a misunderstood game, and I would say that because
Of course it
people
is.
people wanted to be new, but I hate that in the end because they asked for something they themselves did not truly want to experiment with. So
Exactly.
you love the Wii U and the fact that in the same breath you would call a Wii U, innovative yet gimmicky. So you want a new Star Fox game that you say you want to be more like 64, but of course you want to have HD graphics and incorporate the Wii U's architecture and its features. But when you got the motion controls, which are actually damn good in my opinion, you didn't
Oh
want them.
yeah,
You
Yeah.
didn't want them.
you took
It's
the
like so
words
you
right out of my
asked for
mouth, man.
something. You asked for something that you yourself did not really want. It's like you wanted the option, but you hate the fact that the game was actually built around them. And that
Well, they like the idea. They like the idea. I think the reason that people talk shit about Star Fox Zero was because basically they like the idea. Like everything they wanted, they got, but they didn't realize that it wasn't that good in the first place. What I mean by that is, like, okay, they were like, well, we want a Star Fox game that's like
CC4.
Star Fox 64. Star Fox 64 is an arcadey rail shooter. Okay, that's what it is. It's an
An
arcadey.
overrated arcade rail shooter
Yeah,
at that.
it's not even the best Star Fox game, really. And they're
Thank
like,
you.
and
Oh
they're
my
like, oh my
god,
god,
yes.
we want a Star Fox like that. It's like it's not that good of a Star Fox. And I
Well,
say this,
and even when Super Mario Odyssey is becoming a worldwide success, people are still complaining about its motion controls.
yeah. Which I mean, here's the thing: the motion
There's
controls.
so few far in
Well,
between.
well, they're optional. You don't have to use the motion controls. You can literally do anything. You can do something else if you want to. I think people just like to bitch and complain because it's fun. But I mean, at the end of the
Oh,
day,
wait. Hold on, Red. Before you go any further, this is some specific thing I wanted to say because I've seen some podcasts, to know, um, one
Don't
one of
know.
these people
Oh
actually
god.
one of these people actually complained that no, they said they'd rather use
Traditional
the
controllers.
the traditional controllers, but he found it cumbersome to actually use the capping mechanic, and the only way that it was easy enough for him was to use the motion controls or
and I that's the way
the
I feel.
gyro.
Like yeah, I
And I'm
love the
like,
motion control.
really? Well,
But
but
hold on, someone just said this in the chat. Metal Man, he gave two games, and of course one of them is Mario Maker, but the other one actually very unique. He said physical fatal frame.
Oh
yeah, that'd be
yeah,
cool.
Fatal
Yeah,
Frame.
I could see why
That would
people
be
would like
nice.
that.
totally
Yeah.
forgotten about that.
But then
And
again, you'd have
That's a
the
good
whole,
idea.
now my two are going to probably blow people's minds. So hear me out, people. You guys in the chat, get ready. I know you're gonna probably laugh your ass off, but here goes.
Shin
And
Megami
I'm gonna,
Tokyo Mirage Session.
I'm gonna actually say it out loud. Okay, so you ready for this? You're
Okay.
right, Chiplin. The first one is Tokyo Mirage Session Sharp FE. That game needs more exposure. It's actually a very good
oh
I knew
JRPG.
it.
yeah, yeah.
It deserves more exposure. And I feel if it was on the Switch, please, you wouldn't even need Persona, the next Shin Megami Tensei, because I mean that game. Not saying I don't want it, but that game is a very good JRPG, man. In every
Yes, it
single
is.
sense.
But
Now,
it's going
I
to be
hate
overshadowed by Shin Megami Tensei 5.
now we would not have the Game Pass specific where it had all the information on the Game Pass strictly. I would miss that, but it needs to love. And the second game, do not laugh. If you laugh, I'm gonna kick you out of here. Devil's Third.
You know what's funny? I hold
Oh!
on. You know what's funny?
But
I
but but
was
but
about to say
but
that. I was.
but I want a Devil's Third that is optimized. It has to have motion controls.
Uh,
And more
Because that game to
polished.
me, I get it that you know he was talking a lot of trash about how good his game was, and it was actually a decent game. It had a great campaign. I played through most a big portion of the campaign. I even played the multiplayer a lot, but of course it wasn't around that long. But even still, I feel that game would, if you can get a bigger audience on the Switch and they incorporate gyro controls like Splatoon, it would be a blast to play. But it's that game that it was complete flop
you
on the
know,
Wii U.
I, I think that game took too long to come out. Had that game come out when it was supposed to come out, it probably would have sold a lot better.
But
Because
that's
the
why I
thing,
say it needs to be optimized.
well, yeah, and plus it was unoptimized. They switched they switched engines like literally like 75% through development, which is never a good thing to do when you're developing a game. Switch graphical engine like that was just dumb. But I mean, they should have kept it using what they were using and just call it a day. I don't know why they were like, yeah, man, we need to switch to something else. I'm like, that was stupid. But yeah, I mean, it is Tomonobu Itagaki.
Okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and let me
Move to
see.
the
If there's
fun
anything
topic.
else I want to talk about beforehand. This topic may actually go on for a bit. Okay. Yo,
Actually,
boy.
I actually had a topic that was one of the to bring
Oh,
about.
go
It's
ahead.
actually kind of a short topic. So on the last podcast, you were talking about like the Nintendo is taking down the streaming. Like you can't monetize streaming if you're in the creators program, right?
Yeah.
And you know how when it always comes to Nintendo's copyright policies, have you noticed that people has been bringing up how Sega is basically accepting not only quote unquote accepting fan games, but they let a Sonic fan to create Sonic Mania. Have you
and
been? I'm
as well,
thinking
and
they're
accepting them to
using
live stream their games.
like how to put this like these people, the gaming community, is literally using Sonic Mania as a crutch and as the only argument to the reason why they
We
they
should
they
they should
hate
allow
Nintendo's
streaming.
policies.
Oh, whatever, dude. They can hate all they want, and I I even got a video coming about this or whatever that I'm gonna be doing the next couple of days. Actually, I had it planned for the last month, just never got around to it.
And
But
Dr. Field, weren't we supposed to talk about waifus for this podcast, like as originally planned?
yeah, we may still do that, but there's one more regular topic before I get on to the SAS.
All right.
Um, what y'all think about that Switch update? You know, the one that allows,
Let's do.
retroactive recording?
Oh yes, the 30-second video capture.
I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's on par with what you can do on your Xbox. So I mean,
Actually, the
Yeah,
Xbox can do a lot more now. That you can actually
well,
record up to 60 minutes of footage.
yeah, but I mean, like, if you want, here's what I'll say: if you want more functionality, go get a capture
get
card.
a
Then
game.
you can record as much. Your only limitation will be
Your hard drive.
what your hard drive can do. So people need to calm the hell down and chill
But you,
out.
but you know the complaint that I saw though, and I mentioned this in my video. I saw people complaining saying,
Hold on,
"Oh yeah,
hold on, Doc. I want to say this. People, I should say, air quotations. Gamers complain that it's kind of It's restrictive to have a 30-minute record session from the Switch itself,
Well,
and yet,
it's 30
but
seconds.
yeah, and yet, I'm betting these are the very same people that shouts that they want to be um crap. What was that word again? Oh yes, independent. So they're not tied down to anything else. Well, at least only YouTube. So
I mean, but here's the thing to me, and I saw more than a few comments regarding this. I heard people complaining saying, "Hey, well, that's not good for streaming." Wait, hold on. First of all, Nintendo is not. This console is not for streamers. Let's get that out there. There's no Twitch app or anything like that. It's not even meant for that. So the Wii U wasn't. So get over the whole thing that it doesn't allow you to stream. I say here's the other part where this is not meant for you. This recording, this capture ability, this function is retroactive. It doesn't record the next 30 seconds. The system is always recording the previous 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So it's the system. This type of capture is meant that when you have a moment that just went by, usually if you weren't already recording, you missed it. Even when it came to the Xbox One and PS4, you had if the moment passed by, you had already missed it. This is
Yeah.
capturing the last 30 seconds of all the gameplay you're doing. So it's meant for you to be like, hey, that was cool. Oh man, I kind of missed that. I
And it's
kind of so
meant
you
to
can
be.
go back and see what that was. So it's
And
actually
it's meant.
better than a capture device,
It's
in my
meant,
opinion.
and it's meant
Uh,
for sharing in Facebook and Twitter.
yeah, I mean it's just a little blurb, and if you want more functionality, then get your cheap ass up and go get your cheap ass up. And I mean, like, here's the thing: you can get a decent capture card these days
You're more independent.
for like $30. Really, you can get a shitty little hot hog for $30. And so,
But I wish people would take into consideration, though, and you're right, Red Fox, but take this into consideration, people. This thing is a 6-inch console, the size that's smaller than an iPad mini. And it has the capability to do something that the Xbox One and PS4 can do. Get that through your thick skull. That is amazing that this system, with its limitations, with its small amount of memory, with its power, is able to, on a consistent basis, record the last 30 seconds of gameplay. And all they got in it is 4 gigs of RAM versus your 8.
yeah, but I mean,
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive. That is
yeah,
very impressive.
but here's the thing. Okay, look, listen. It, like, I mean, look, this is just a nice little things that you can share. Hey, man, I did something cool. Here's me doing a handstand on Bowser's head. Let me catch a
And now,
picture of it.
and now you got proof without having to go out there and buy a capture card.
Yeah, but I mean, look, if you wanna, I mean, because look, listen, we all of us are kind of like more core gamers than anything else. So, if we want to do that, we have capture cards. If you want to have more functionality, get your cheap ass up and go get a capture card.
And I mentioned that. I said, do like I did and get a capture device, which I've
Yeah,
had for years.
yeah. So I mean, if you want more functionality, but don't be bitching because I mean, look, they could have done what they did with the Wii U and just be like, fuck it, you want to capture something, figure it out, bitch. I mean, so I mean, why act out now? Why show your ass now? That's my thing. I'm like, why be all like, well, they need to do this. No, they don't. Because the only thing a console needs to do is play the games. Everything else is secondary. I don't know why gamers still haven't figured that out. Okay, well, I want to be able to watch Netflix. Look, that's cool. I wish my Switch could do Netflix too, because then I could watch my Netflix shows in bed like I did with my Wii U. But you know what? That's not what it's designed for. It's designed to play games first and foremost.
You know what that reminds me of? Guys, one of Red Knight's latest podcasts. It's not the recent one, but it's the one before it. How he's complaining about how it's unacceptable, quote unquote, that the Switch is basically,
GameCube.
bare bones in comparison to the Wii U and all that stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
Not
I
realizing the
give-
fact that the system has actually sold better, not only better than the Wii U, but it's outpacing the
But we
PS4
know
and
what
Xbox One.
we know what I say about that, and I tell gamers this all the time. These are the conveniences you guys keep complaining about that a system should have because the Xbox 360 had it, the PS3 had it, and the Xbox One and PS4 have it as well.
3DS
Guess what?
has it.
They all cost money. These things are not free. Guess what? You think Netflix is paying them to put on a console? No, they're paying Netflix people. They're paying them a licensing fee for that. That's why
Yeah,
every Netflix app on every different device is different. It operates differently. Do you know why the price of Xbox Live went up $10 a few years ago? Because they had got a contract for ESPN, and that wasn't cheap. You know
yeah,
who owns ESPN?
Disney.
Disney.
Yeah. I mean, look, here's what I'll say, okay? I understand that people want those extra features because they're comparable with other things going on. I'm not going to be like, well, fuck features, because more
I
features
want
are
them
always
too.
good. Like I said, I would love to be able to play, but here's the thing: these are consoles. It's like having a car where it can't drive, but it's got Sirius FM It's got TVs. It's got TVs in the headrest. It's like that's cool, but what's the miles per gallon? Oh, the engine don't work. The engine don't. I mean, you're sure. Here's the thing. A console needs to play games first, and then everything else is just bennies. And bennies are nice, but they're bennies.
But another thing I mentioned is that people complained about how the Wii U OS was sluggish. It was better than the Xbox One and PS4 to an extent, but it was still sluggish. You know what causes all that slowdown? Guess what? It's not the stuff like the games on your hard drive. It's the clutter of having all these extra apps on there that do other things outside of playing games.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to correct Red Nut on one thing. The Wii didn't have Netflix or the streaming apps day one. No, that was
they didn't.
No,
it didn't.
No. It didn't. The Wii.
The Wii, you had to get a disc
period.
for Netflix for the Wii.
Yeah.
In the beginning, you had to have a disc, and then afterwards, you need the disc.
As a matter of fact, you had to have a disc for Netflix for, if I remember correctly, the PS3 and I don't think maybe Xbox, but I know with the PS3 because I had Netflix on both of them. You needed a disc in order to unlock it for both those systems. So, I mean, I just think. I think people just need to calm the hell down. Even the 3DS, and the 3DS has at this point 70 million install base. Even that had
I just need people to do one thing, man. Look at the success of the Switch. I mean, seriously, take a step back and look at the success of the Switch thus far. I'm not saying the Switch is going to sell 200 million. I'm saying look at it right now. And if you look at the success of the Switch right now, look how it got there. It didn't get there because of all the apps that it has. It didn't get there because of all the features that it has. It got there because of the games and its versatility as far as that. It's
versatility and
the technology has proven to themselves once again, that just like the Wii, keep it simple. See, the Wii U got complicated, but it was still a simple console overall. It was very innovative. But the GameCube, hey, they went for power. It didn't work out. The Wii U went for power, listen to third parties, didn't work out. But every time they kept it simple, it worked out for them. The Switch is the most simple console. I love that console. It's actually designed to be on standby full time. I love that.
Look, everyone keeps on saying, well, this is why. Look, the Wii failed because of shitty third-party support. That was it. Other than that, it was a great console. It did almost everything else.
What other stuff? What other exterior stuff that basically, the whole bashing? But go ahead.
Well, no, it was primarily the shitty third-party. It was the shitty third-party support because you had basically 6 months where there was no games coming out for it. Nothing. Nintendo.
I agree with Fox because if the Wii would have got all the games the other two systems had, it would have sold 25, 30 million easily. If it would have got every single game the other two got.
Not even all the games. Had it had decent third-party support, and when I say decent, I mean basically when I say decent third-party support, I'm basically talking had it gotten Mass Effect Trilogy and not fucking shitty Mass Effect. Not Mass Effect 3 with none of the DLC.
Full price at 3.
Yeah, 60. You can literally you had no incentive to buy that game because you could spend $60 and get Mass Effect 3 on the Wii U, or you could spend $60 and get Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 with the 1 and 2 having all the DLC. That's a no fucking brainer.
Okay, well. Well, I was gonna say we got a few minutes left. I do want to get this SAS topic out of the way, and like I say, you guys probably won't see this coming. Okay.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you to choose between two. I'm gonna just give you a simple thing. Do you want it to be? You know what? I'm just gonna choose one. I'm just gonna keep it simple. All right. Here's the question. You guys ready for this? You actually you're not, but just go ahead and say yes.
Yes.
Okay, let's do it.
Hit me.
Okay. If sex was a sport.
Yeah.
Okay.
What categories would you have? And I got a few here. I got a few.
Hold on, Doc. Before anyone asks this, have you read some porn books about this? Because I feel like that's the only reason why you can come up with that.
No, this is like random thoughts, dude. But if it was a
All right.
sport, here are my how would here are my categories. You got endurance, you got the type of contenders, you got weight class, speed, satisfaction. How would you guys rule out the nobodies versus the good specimens?
Well,
Well,
like,
actually, this would be really easy.
I don't know.
You'd have a marathon,
I've never
right?
watched Greco-Roman wrestling.
And if someone like someone's like, oh man, this person like man, this dude, 2 minutes, get the hell out of here. This dude sucks, right? And then you have someone like Sting, who's like apparently a tantra master. Like you could he's like, yeah, man, Sting's been going for about 3 days at this point, and be like, well, shit, I can't. This guy's a gold medalist, right? And you
I would
know,
say this: if it was a sport, I just want to try it every year. I don't have to make the team. I just want to try. I just want to go practice.
The
I
bloody
wanna-
hell is this, man?
Mike, okay, if this is if it was an actual sport, and I'll just use it as material for masturbation.
what?
If it was a sport,
guys.
so
I
you
wouldn't
so
say
you be the
I don't
guy in
know.
the stand saying, I'm not a professional, but I do like to see. I just like to see these awesome athletes.
Okay, okay. All right, Pinky Don is he's spectating. He's the spectator for the sport.
Yeah, he's a spectator.
Yep, the masturbating spectator, to be exact.
Jesus, man, seriously.
Hey,
Well,
look.
English.
Okay. How would you guys measure satisfaction in this? Is it the strength of an orgasm? Is it how quickly one happens? Is it the amount? The quantity?
I think you have to do a combination of all three: quantity, strength, how quantity, strength, how many, um, you know. You'd also if you had partners or even an orgy like triples, quads, a daisy chain, you'd have to be like, well, partner synchronicity.
Oh,
How
come
do
on,
people
man.
feel about it? No, because
Yeah.
it's deeper than that. You can't just go, well,
Hey, check this out.
It's
Aries
all
is
about the
this
soul
podcast
food.
went way left. Yeah, Aries.
left. Well, I wouldn't say left. Maybe up, down, uh,
In and out.
in and out,
Sideways.
sideways. Yeah, sideways. Maybe did the alphabet. I don't know if.
What about all those positions from Kama Sutra?
Oh man. Okay. So when it comes to speed, I guess we have two categories: who can last longer and who can do it, who can make it end quicker.
Yeah,
So
but I think
marathon and
I
the
would
French.
think that the dude who's like, yeah, I'm the fastest. I'm the Flash. I'm the fastest man alive. I don't think that's a prize any man would want. I don't think anyone would be happy for that one. Yes, I am the fastest
Now,
man
now, now,
alive.
we
Why
have
are
to
you
have a rule.
bragging about
I
that?
think I think we need a rule though, because you know how some people are merely stimulated by physical appearance. The person on the receiving end, well, I actually say both people will probably have to be probably you know blindfolded at some point.
What? So then you could surprise the dude or the lady by being someone fugly? I don't
Well,
know.
no, that's not for that reason. Like for example, let's say it comes to like if you're gonna have this sport, like basically every guy is gonna choose the most attractive.
Or you could have it be a blind, like a lotto where you don't know who your partner's going to be.
True.
Because I mean, from what I've heard of the Olympic Village, they run out of condoms almost every year, so that they're already doing it. So why don't we make that into a event? Except, who would you get to judge this? Like who would be qualified to judge this? Really, who would be qualified to say, you know what?
Don't do it, man. Don't do it.
I think I am qualified to be a judge of this competition.
Okay, check this out. Would there be any type of special circumstances, such as like not using your arms, your legs, your lips? Whatever.
We could have a pseudo paraplegic paralyzed thing where it's like you can just use certain parts of your body. Like, how good can you be? But you can only use torso thrusts. I mean, hip
Oh, come
thrusts.
on, Red.
It's
Come
like, I
on.
don't know.
Not a
Well,
fan of
some-
paraplegic. Those hentai get really weird.
Oh,
Dude, just when I think it's too far, you come and you take it a little bit farther still. I don't know. I mean, it would be a very interesting situation. That's all I can really say at this point. It would be very, very interesting. Probably, possibly a little fun, but mostly interesting.
okay. Well, we'll go ahead and end it on that note and head on over to the aftercast. I do want to thank everyone in the chat for tuning in, especially you guys in that attended the podcast. I want to thank you so much. I know it's been a long time coming and frequent resets, but finally got around to it. But I think the OGL may be moving to the weekends because that's what my new schedule will allow it to be more convenient for everyone to attend. So keep an eye out and go ahead and give your sign offs in any order.
So, I'll start. This is P Don from Video Game Facts, and by tomorrow I'll be working on my first day of the job as a assistant math tutor at my local community college. So I probably won't be active until the afternoon.
By active, you mean you'd be tutoring some chick?
Yeah, tutoring.
Really?
Let me show you how to divide.
Oh my god!
Oh!
But I already have a girlfriend.
Oh,
So that's not gonna.
well, you do know that you do that with that 1 + 1 = menage.
Oh God.
Oh
I
my
thought that was
God.
1 + 1 + 1, but whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just talking about you got two of them, and you got yourself.
Yeah, so that's 1 + 1 + 1. That's
the-
3.
yeah, but he's not adding himself to the equation. He's already in it. She's adding somebody.
I guess. I mean, it's very difficult to broach that subject with some ladies.
Especially if they're not good at math.
All right, well, hey, good luck on your math tutoring.
Yeah, thanks.
No problem. Who else?
I guess I'll get my sign off. This is Gin Against Stats, and sorry that I could have came here earlier. I actually kind of forgot that this was gonna be a thing, but yeah, yeah, nothing much else to say other than hopefully I'll be there next time.
All right, and guys, give him credit. I mean, this was the most difficult podcast for him to break into, so give him a lot of credit for that. He tried for like half an hour.
I'm sorry, Doc. Did you have to use the sentence break in after that last topic?
And trying half an hour.
Okay, go ahead.
This is very difficult for him to pull off. I mean, he tried really, really hard for half an hour.
Okay, go ahead,
Everything.
Triple L. Okay, go ahead, man.
Multiple ways, different techniques.
Yeah. Well, yeah. This is Triple M here. Actually, I was. Stop! Stop! I was also basically I was also caught off guard. Actually, in a recovery phase. So, if it wasn't for your surprise call, I wouldn't even be here. But yeah, I appreciate being here. To all you viewers out there, well, if you enjoyed us, then great. Enjoyed us. Oh, poor choice of words here. But yeah, hope you had fun. I'll stop right now.
It's
And
all
what's next?
I'll go, even though I didn't say much. I came in late. I thought today was the 4th, not the 5th. I'm like days off. My schedule has been whack.
Hectic.
But anyway, I'm Perry fan. I'm here every now and again. You can follow me on Twitter, yes, Wesley at PerryFan74. Right now, I'm posting a lot of pictures of Mario and Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I
Because all the
saw
best games
that.
this year have photo modes.
I say I
Like,
do want to
a
Is
lot
ask
of
this
games
you,
are
Mario
actually
in
put on there.
Assassin's Creed or
yo
Mario
Perry,
and Assassin's Creed?
Mario
how
and
is
Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
how is Assassin's Creed Origins?
You said Assassin's Creed Orgy?
Oh my
Well,
god!
actually, there kind of was one in a mission yesterday, but I'll get to that later. But anyway,
Well, you know, you can't
Oh gosh.
you can't spell assassin without seeing in twice the ass.
Oh god!
that's a good one. I gotta use that one. But anyway,
You
yeah, just
low.
follow me Twitter, Tumblr, PerryFan34 on anything. Mario's really good. Assassin's Creed's really good. This is a good year for games. And this podcast has just been one big self-fulfilling fallacy.
All right. Yeah, who's next? Is it me? Or is it Red? Oh, it's Red Fox.
It's me, Mr. Red Fox, owner proprietor BS Busters, and I have nothing else to say except, I mean, this is the year of Nintendo. I mean, Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, then we got a epic Monolith Soft RPG coming out later on. I think it's this month or next month.
December
Next
1st.
month.
December 1st.
Next
December
month. So,
1st.
I mean, look, let's just keep it real, man. I mean, if your name ain't Nintendo this year, you just not having a good year. I'm sorry.
Yeah, pretty much.
All
And I
right.
think only
I don't
2018
know. Are
might
you
even get
launching the
even
most
better.
powerful console this generation? I don't think so.
Well, I'm not launching the most powerful console of this generation, mostly because I don't want my most powerful console to come out at the same time as Mario Odyssey, because I'm not stupid. But I got the most powerful console.
All right, and I'm about to feel good. You have to forgive my guests here. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Really appreciate you guys. And I will give you a hint as to next week's SAS topic. I will say one thing. It will have something to do with waifus. So,
Yay!
Derek Fisker, I will hope you are at least in the chat. This is right up your alley, dude. It really is. But anyway, you too, Sprite. and but anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. And as I always say, keep it gaming.